Tonight, the world holds its breath, gripped by a crisis that could reshape the balance of power in Asia and beyond. The South China Sea, long a crossroads of commerce and conflict, has become the epicenter of a global emergency, drawing the attention of governments, militaries, and citizens worldwide. Breaking news tonight: the United States has pledged a naval escort for Philippine gas exploration vessels, responding to mounting Chinese threats and signaling a new phase of direct involvement. The South China Sea is not just a regional concern, it's a vital artery for global trade, with trillions of dollars in goods passing through its waters each year. Now these shipping lanes are shadowed by warships, and the world's economies watch anxiously. At the heart of the standoff, the Philippine survey vessel BRP Andres Bonifacio hovers over a newly discovered gas field. Its mission is clear and urgent: to map and secure resources that could transform the Philippines' energy future and reduce its dependence on foreign fuel. But the mission is under threat. Chinese Coast Guard cutters, imposing and relentless, circle the Philippine vessel, their intentions unmistakable. They aim to halt the survey, asserting China's sweeping territorial claims over these contested waters. Just beyond the tense perimeter, the USS John Finn, a formidable U.S. Navy destroyer, stands as a symbol of American resolve and commitment to its allies. Its presence is a clear message: the United States will not stand by as its treaty partner is threatened. Across the radio waves, tension crackles. Crews on all sides exchange terse, coded messages, each side asserting its rights and warning the other to stand down. The air is thick with uncertainty, and every word could tip the balance. For the Filipino crew, this mission is about more than science or economics. It's an act of national defiance, a stand for sovereignty and dignity in the face of overwhelming pressure. To the Chinese, the presence of foreign vessels is a direct challenge to their authority. For the Americans, it's a matter of upholding treaty obligations and maintaining the credibility of their alliances in the Indo-Pacific. Every maneuver is calculated, every word measured. The ships dance a dangerous ballet, each captain weighing the risks of escalation against the cost of backing down. This is not a drill. It's February 1st, 2026, and the world is watching events unfold in real time, aware that the decisions made here could echo for generations. In just a matter of weeks, the standoff has escalated from heated diplomatic protests to a full-blown military showdown. Diplomatic channels are strained, and the world's major powers are on edge. The stakes could not be higher: energy security for millions, the integrity of international law, and the delicate balance of power in the Indo-Pacific region. The outcome here could set a precedent for future conflicts over resources and territory. One misstep, one misunderstood signal, could ignite a conflict with consequences far beyond these waters, threatening peace, prosperity, and stability across the globe. This is more than a dispute over resources. It's a test of alliances, a measure of resolve, and a glimpse into the future of global power dynamics. The world's eyes are fixed on the South China Sea, waiting to see who will blink first. As the sun sets over these contested waters, the world waits, breathless, for the next move. History is unfolding in real time, and its outcome remains uncertain. The spark for this unfolding crisis lies deep beneath the surface of the sea, in a world few ever see. Here, in the shadowy depths, a discovery has set off a chain reaction that could reshape the fate of an entire nation. The Philippine National Oil Company, after years of searching and scientific analysis, recently announced the discovery of the massive Sampaguita 2 gas field. This field lies within the country's exclusive economic zone, a region rich in resources but fraught with geopolitical tension. Early estimates suggest the field holds trillions of cubic feet of natural gas, an amount so vast it could transform the Philippines' energy landscape. For a nation long dependent on imported fuel, this find represents a potential turning point, promising not just energy security, but a brighter economic future. With the Malampaya field, once the country's main source of natural gas, now nearly depleted, the discovery of Sampaguita 2 offers a new beacon of hope. It could mean lower energy costs, new jobs, and a chance for millions of Filipino families to dream bigger. Recognizing the stakes, the government acted swiftly, launching exploration efforts and mobilizing resources. For many, this was more than just a business opportunity. It was a lifeline, a chance to secure the nation's future and uplift countless lives. But the field's location is fraught with danger. It sits in waters also claimed by China, whose sweeping territorial assertions have long been a source of regional tension. The discovery immediately ignited controversy, drawing the attention of powerful neighbors. Beijing quickly condemned the exploration as illegal, dispatching Coast Guard and naval vessels to block Philippine efforts. The standoff at sea grew tense, with both sides refusing to back down, and the world watching anxiously. What began as a story of hope and national pride for the Philippines has now become a flashpoint for international conflict. The dreams of prosperity are now shadowed by the threat of confrontation and uncertainty. The promise of newfound wealth and energy independence now hangs in the balance, caught in the crossfire of great power rivalry. Filipino businesses and families wait anxiously, their future uncertain. As tensions rise, the world's eyes are fixed on this contested patch of sea, where the hopes of a nation and the ambitions of global powers collide. China's claim to the South China Sea is defined by its 9-dash line, a sweeping ambiguous boundary that stretches deep into waters claimed by several other nations. This line, first appearing on maps in the mid-20th century, encompasses vast areas rich in fisheries, oil, and gas, and is central to China's maritime ambitions. However, the international community has largely rejected the legitimacy of the 9-dash line, arguing that it violates the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, which sets clear rules for maritime boundaries. In 2016, a tribunal at The Hague ruled decisively against China's sweeping claims, stating that there was no legal basis for the 9-dash line and upholding the rights of other nations in the region. But Beijing dismissed the verdict outright, insisting that the tribunal had no authority and that its claims were rooted in historical rights. Since then, China has doubled down, deploying its Coast Guard and a growing maritime militia to patrol and enforce its will across disputed waters, often in direct defiance of international rulings. Filipino fishermen and surveyors, who rely on these waters for their livelihoods, now face constant harassment and intimidation, making their daily work increasingly dangerous. Their activities are frequently disrupted by Chinese vessels, which use aggressive tactics to assert control, sometimes surrounding or even ramming smaller boats. When the Sampaguita 2 gas discovery was announced, a find with the potential to boost the Philippines' energy security, China responded swiftly with stern warnings and diplomatic protests. This was quickly followed by a show of force as Chinese Navy and Coast Guard ships conducted maneuvers in the area, signaling their intent to maintain dominance. Today, a flotilla of Chinese ships actively blocks Philippine efforts to explore and develop resources, creating a tense maritime standoff that threatens to escalate at any moment. Legal disputes have now turned into physical confrontations at sea, with altercations and dangerous encounters becoming more frequent. This isn't just about the Philippines. Vietnam, Malaysia, and other Southeast Asian nations face similar pressure as China asserts its claims over nearly the entire South China Sea. China's message is clear: the South China Sea's vast resources, from fish to fossil fuels, are theirs to control, and any resistance will be met with firm opposition. The threat of force is ever present, as Chinese patrols continue to challenge and confront foreign vessels, raising the risk of conflict. As a result, smaller nations are left seeking help from outside powers, turning to allies like the United States and forming new coalitions in hopes of balancing China's growing assertiveness in these contested waters. Facing Chinese aggression, the Philippines turned to its oldest ally, the United States. The 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, once ambiguous about the South China Sea, is now clear. An attack on Philippine vessels triggers U.S. commitments. The U.S. Navy's deployment of the USS John Finn is a concrete show of support. The message: any attack on the Philippine survey ship is an attack on a vessel under U.S. protection. For Washington, it's about more than gas. It's about upholding international law and deterring coercion. The world is watching to see if the U.S. will stand firm. The stakes, the credibility of alliances, and the rules-based order. For the Philippines, this standoff is about energy security and sovereignty. With domestic gas supplies dwindling, the Sampaguita 2 field is a lifeline. Developing it could power the nation, lower costs, and fuel growth. But it's also a test of national resolve. Will the Philippines control its own resources or yield to intimidation? The 2016 arbitral ruling confirmed Philippine rights, but China's blockade challenges that verdict. Manila's firm stance, backed by U.S. support, has sparked a surge of patriotism. For Filipinos, this is about more than gas. It's about their future and their identity. The outcome will shape the nation for generations. The world is watching to see if sovereignty or force will prevail. The South China Sea is now a chessboard of military might. The USS John Finn, backed by a carrier strike group, patrols the region, joined by increased U.S. freedom of navigation operations. Joint U.S.-Philippine exercises send a message of deterrence. China has responded in kind, warships, drills, and aggressive maneuvers near the gas field. The Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militia harass Philippine vessels, using water cannons and dangerous tactics. Both sides are flexing muscle, but stopping short of open war. The risk of miscalculation is ever present. One wrong move could trigger a conflict between nuclear powers. The world holds its breath as the standoff intensifies. The world is watching and reacting. U.S. allies like Japan and Australia have voiced support for the Philippines and sent ships to the region. European powers, including the UK, France, and Germany, have joined freedom of navigation patrols, signaling unity. The EU calls for respect for international law, while ASEAN nations remain cautious, wary of Chinese retaliation. Russia and other Chinese partners back Beijing, framing the crisis as U.S. interference. The standoff has become a proxy for a larger global contest between democracy and authoritarianism. Alliances are shifting, and the diplomatic ripples are reshaping the world order. Beyond the headlines, ordinary people bear the brunt of this standoff. Filipino fishermen face harassment and dwindling catches, their livelihoods threatened by Chinese patrols. Some have abandoned the sea altogether, driven into poverty by forces beyond their control. The crew of the survey vessel works under constant pressure, knowing a single mistake could spark disaster. On the other side, Chinese sailors follow orders, believing they defend their nation's interests. Both sides are caught in a conflict, not of their making. The human cost, anxiety, fear, and lost futures rarely makes the news. Yet it is these individuals who live the reality of great power rivalry. Their fate hangs in the balance as the world's leaders play their high-stakes game. The standoff continues, tense, unpredictable, and fraught with risk. The Philippine survey ship works under U.S. protection, shadowed by Chinese vessels. One miscalculation could trigger a wider conflict, drawing in the world's superpowers. Best case, China backs down, and diplomacy prevails. But history suggests the stalemate may drag on. The region braces for a new normal: constant tension, economic disruption, and the ever-present risk of escalation. The worst case, a direct clash, with catastrophic consequences for the world. The future of the South China Sea and the global order hangs in the balance. The world waits, hoping for peace, fearing the alternative. In these contested waters, the next move could change history.